Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teaching Hour with me, Ambassador Wyatt. Go get your pen, pencil, paper, or pad because this is Teaching Hour. Well, hello. Welcome back to Teaching Hour with me, Ambassador Wyatt. So let's get right into it. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 reads from the New King James Version. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. That is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 from the New King James Version. First question, how do we put this verse into action in our lives? How do we put this verse into action in our lives? Well, verse 2 of Hebrews chapter 12 tells us how. It reads, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So the answer is, we look unto Jesus. We look to Jesus. But how do we keep our eyes on Jesus? By prayer. Prayer redirects our attention back on him, back on Jesus. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 22, part A reads from the New Living Translation Bible, let us go right into the presence of God with sincere hearts, fully trusting him. Question 3. What makes us not keep our eyes on Jesus? What makes us not keep our eyes on Jesus? Distractions. Let's read Luke chapter 10. It reads in verse 42. Jesus said to Martha, but one thing is needed, and Mary has chosen that good part, which will not be taken away from her. What was Jesus saying that what was so important here? Well, he was saying that Mary chose to sit at his feet, to listen and worship him. And by the way, y'all, this type of worship means to kneel before the Lord, to respect and have submission, or to submit. So Mary sitting at Jesus' feet was something she did often. I'm going to repeat that again. Mary sitting at Jesus' feet was something she did often. Now take note. It reads in John chapter 11, verse 32. Then when Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. And if we go to John chapter 12, verse 3, it reads, then Mary took a bottle of perfume, a very costly oil of spikenard, anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of oil. I just read to you John chapter 11, verse 32. in John chapter 12, verse 3. So Mary sat at Jesus' feet often. You see, Martha did what Mary did not do. Martha did what Mary did not do. Why? Because she was distracted. Martha was distracted. Let's go back to Luke chapter 10, verse 40. I'm going to read it from the King James Version. It reads, "But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, doest thou not care that my sister have left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me." That's what Martha said to the Lord. There is a term in this verse, and it is said, or the term is the word cumbered. And it means to drag all around, to distract with care, and to be driven about mentally. So Mary was distracted. Going back to the beginning of this lesson, we read Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. Again, it reads, "Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." The lesson for us to learn is, what makes us not keep our eyes on Jesus? The answer is distractions. How we can eliminate these distractions is go somewhere and sit down with the Bible in hand and allow the Spirit of Christ to speak to you. The second one is do a thankful prayer. Tell him what you are thankful for. And by the Holy Spirit, I guarantee you, when you hear the voice of the Spirit of Christ, when he speaks to you, you will want to hear more, and you will pay attention, and the distractions will go away because you will be so in tune with Christ's voice that everything else will not even matter. This concludes teaching hour. And remember, Jesus is Lord.